So, what's up, Blacks? All right, so we're gonna get started. I'm just gonna go ahead and get it rolling. Gonna go to practice right now. Just show off a couple things. I'm gonna pick Shadow Jago. Actually, I think he's a perfect character to show a lot of stuff. And Sadira or Hisako is pretty good. She got a unique Wrath meter. So we're gonna talk about real quick. I'm just gonna go over a couple keynotes. My name is Devil May Care 4. I am a Killer Instinct player. I competed in Killer Instinct for many years. I've just recently got back from Combo Breaker with a bunch of friends and placed 4th place in the tournament. Better than last year, which I think I got 7th last year. So I'm happy to have gotten better. Thank you, Cores. And I am also just here to show everyone Killer Instinct. I'm going to go pretty quickly on some of the basic stuff because the basics are pretty much any fighting game. And it's not really special to KI. I'm going to more focus on the special stuff longer that's unique to KI. So right now I'm showing off 2 characters, Shadow Jago and Hisako. I think these 2 characters are perfect to show off a couple things that the game is unique about for. Let me go ahead and put refill on Instinct. And we're going to start off with buttons. So this game is a 6-button fighter. It's a lot like Street Fighter in the sense that it's like the same, you have to throw, light, medium, heavy punch, light kick, medium kick, heavy kick. You got the, low buttons, the sweep, traditional sweep, good anti-air buttons when you do crouch fierce, jump buttons and all that cool stuff, right? So light, medium, heavy punch, light, medium, heavy kick, crouching versions of each button. Street Fighter 4, 5, and 6, pretty much. If I'm not mistaken, the devs who made this game, the original version of Killer Instinct, stated that they focused the bones of this game from like Street Fighter 4. Like it's kind of like bones of Street Fighter 4. That's why it kind of has those like links and one-frame combos and stuff like that. It kind of got the similarity. Also, it kind of has the same priority system as Street Fighter 4. I'll explain that in the future. But that's pretty much it. This is pretty much the game. You have those normal buttons, but you also have special normals. So, like, for example, if you press... let me put the inputs on so you can see. I'll be quick about it. If you press heavy kick, that's just how it looks like, right? Now, if you hit forward heavy kick, it's a different button. It's unique. And this particular kick allows the character to cancel into a dash with it. You can't cancel to the dash with normal heavy kick, see? It won't work. If you do a forward heavy kick, you could dash with it. See what I'm saying? And a lot of characters have unique buttons like that. They're called command normals. For the most part in this game, not always, but for the most part, command normals count as an opener, and that puts you in the combo state. So you gotta be careful. A Conra, for example, has a lot of command normals and a lot of opener normals, depending on what range you're at. Shadow Jago also has a command normal that does a special overhead. It's unique to him. It's back heavy kick. That's pretty cool. It's a pretty good one. It has a lot of good properties in this game. I'll go over those later. But yeah, those are buttons, normals, and command normals. So now we also have special moves. Every fighting game has a character that shoots a fireball. We've seen it millions of times all over every fighting game. Projectiles, right? You got air fireball, ground fireball. You could change the speed depending on the strength. So like if you do a light fireball, it's a little slower. Medium is pretty fast. Heavy is the fastest, as you can see. That also applies in the air. Same difference. Light being slow, medium moving at decent speed, and heavy moving the fastest across the screen. If you do it shortly off the ground, like on the way down, you could do 2 fireballs pretty quickly back to back. See? Pretty cool. He also has a slide. Goes pretty far. Not quite full screen, but very close to it. So you kind of have to be careful with that. Now that's the heavy version. The light version doesn't go hardly anywhere. Medium goes a bit further, and heavy goes far as heck. Very far. And this move is actually pretty good. A lot of slides in this game are considered like low profile. So like Orchid, Omen, and Shadow Jago have these slides, for example. Pretty similar looking slides. And they go under things like fireballs and certain highs and certain buttons. They go right under it. So this is good to throw out as an approach to someone spamming projectiles. Now, they're not invincible to projectiles. If the projectile is low, or it goes on the ground, or something like that, or the attack eventually hits the ground, like the hitbox swings from high to mid to low, this will get hit. It's not invincible to that. It's just low profiles it, right? That's just one of his other specials. You also have the dive kick. His dive kick's unique to where it's relative, the distance of where he teleports, it's relative to the strength and where you're positioned to the opponent. So for example, I'll go ahead and show you. Light goes pretty much right in front of him. Medium goes a bit further, it actually hits. Heavy goes even further to the point where it almost looks like it's gonna cross him up. Kind of hits from behind a little bit. Now, if you're close, the light will stay in front. But if you're close with the medium kick version, it goes to the other side. And same thing with the heavy one, it goes even further out. It has more range to cross up. Whereas medium will stay in front at this range, the heavy version will go on the other side, you see? It goes a bit further with the teleport because it's the heavy version. General rule of thumb with special moves is that from light to medium to heavy, it depends on the range and the speed of the move. So just keep that in mind. A lot of moves, like characters like Spinal and Glacius, have a tackle attack. That's a special move, and just like the slide, how the light didn't go anywhere, neither will their tackle. Their tackle will kind of go hardly anywhere. Same thing applies to, you know, the heavy. If the heavy version will go further with each character that has a move that advances them forward. You know what I'm saying? And that's just another special. And also he has a reversal. If you don't know what a reversal is, think of a move that allows you to take your turn back. So for example, if your character is, I don't know, thrown on the ground. I'll see if I can do a recording real quick. Or swept. And they get hit. The reversal will beat it out. It wins. It's invincible. It's a special move that's invincible. It allows you to take your turn back. It also applies if you're blocking a lot and you feel like there's a gap between the offense. You can sort of use a reversal if you have good timing, or even if you mash it out, and it'll come out and you'll hit them and you take your turn back. From Rip the Remnant flips are a good idea, right? Yes, actually. Jokes aside, I think that people need to stop worrying about how it looks to be random in this game. I feel like a lot of players get this like stigma that they want to look like they're playing good, or they don't want to get criticized for the way they play. So a lot of players used to criticize Ripter players, for example, for random tail flips. But usually the ones that complained about it were the ones getting hit by it. You know what I mean? So I feel like if there's a special move that's working, despite it being unsafe to do or not a good idea often, if it works, it works. And I'm a very, very big believer in doing what works until it doesn't. Scrambling in the chat is one of the best Riptor players in the world, and he could tell you right now that sometimes you just got to do it for the one time. You know what I'm saying? You got to let it rip. Tail flip. Fuck it. Let it out, right? I'm the same way of TJ combo. Power line, you just got to risk it. You got to always weigh your options. Now, are you being silly? Do you know this isn't going to work? Have you been punished multiple times by doing this move? Maybe you should reconsider your offense. But if the guy is having a hard time dealing with it, take the W however you can. If they criticize you, it's not your fault. It's their fault. It's their problem. Yep, make them earn it. Same thing kind of applies to reversals. So like, the thing about reversals is they sound good on paper. Like, why don't I just use reversals? They're invincible moves and I can take my turn back. Well, the problem is they're kind of easy to tell when they're going to happen. It's kind of one of the things you can kind of bait out. And what that means is I can do a pressure, opponent like knock someone on the ground or apply pressure with my buttons. And I know that the next gap is coming up and they're mashing reversal. So I block their reversal. And if you look closely, look how much recovery is on that reversal. That allows the opponent to get a very, very strong punish. And what a punish is essentially is you attacking your opponent when you block something, or if they miss something, you getting a free attack that they cannot block. They will get hit no matter what because they're still in the process of recovering from the move that they just threw out. And you cannot cancel a move into block. But either whether they block it or not, if you have a move that's thrown out, like be a button or a special, and your opponent has enough time to hit you, that's called a punish. So keep that in mind. That applies to a lot of things too, not just DPs or reversals. It applies to everything. So like, watch this. Look how much recovery is on that dive kick. I just bounced off the character and landed, and I couldn't do anything until it was done recovering. Look how much I'm holding up, by the way. Look how long it takes to hold up. He already hit the ground, and look how long it takes to jump. That you have all that time to hit him with your best combo opener. That's a punish. Now, special moves also have enhanced versions of them in this game. Most fighting games have a meter. You see on the bottom, the purple bar. It's called shadow meter in this game. Other games call it EX or meter burn or whatever, you know, whatever you want to call it, overdrive. In this game, it's the same thing. It's just called shadow. It's nothing different. It's the same. And essentially what a shadow is a superfied version of a special move. So for example, Fireball is regular Fireball. Now watch Shadow Fireball. Shoots 5 of them at once. That's a Shadow Fireball. Now remember the dive kick? Here's Shadow Dive Kick. The slide has a shadow version as well. It's an enhanced version. And shadows are important in this game for multiple reasons. So in this game, some of the best way to get guaranteed damage is by having a very strong opener to the combo. Because, you know, Killer Instinct's all about combo breaking, right? But the thing about combo breakers in this game is they can only be done after the opener. And I'll go into detail about that later. But if you know what I'm saying now, is that means you want to make your opener as powerful as possible and hurt as much as possible. So you get that guaranteed damage. No matter what, you get guaranteed damage. So even if they break the next follow-up after the opener, you still get at least 13%, around 13 to 15%. Some cases you can get even more, 19, 20% for few characters. Guaranteed damage that they cannot take away. My thing about shadows is my character in particular uses them not just for the damage I'm talking about, but it depends on it for a reversal. Remember how I was showing you this reversal for Shadow Jago? It costs nothing to do, and he has a free invincible reversal. I'm going to show you a character that requires meter for a reversal and what that means in this game. Real quick. Alright. So I'm going to have Jago here on the right. Throw me, and then forward roundhouse me, okay? So let's watch that real quick. Okay. I'm gonna do it right now. I'm gonna wake up with the button. I got hit, counter hit. Now I'm gonna wake up with a special move. I got hit. It didn't come out. Nothing I could do. I don't have a reversal unless I use meter. So let's put that into the test. I just use meter or shadow to use my reversal. You see what I'm saying? Certain characters need meter to use their reversal. And you're probably thinking, why would I ever want to do that? Why would I ever want to have a character that has to use meter as a reversal when I could pick one without meter for a reversal? Well, the special thing about shadowed reversals in this game is that they usually have a caveat or something extra that normal invincible free reversals do not have. You might have seen it just a second ago with TJ. So let me go ahead and show that one more time. Alright. I hit the opponent, right? Usually if you're using a character that has an invincible free reversal, that means the character's hit, they're off of you, you both are back in neutral, and that's that. But since TJ combo needs to spend meter, the devs gave him something extra. He could continue the combo after the reversal hits. He's allowed to continue the combo. And that's very, very strong in this game. Now, whether they break it or not is a different story. Because as soon as the shadow reversal hits, that's considered a combo opener. And that means that they are allowed to break the follow-up attack if they can guess it right or get it right, react to it properly. But TJ combo, Saberwolf, as another example, can continue their combo or their juggle after the fact. That's the reason it costs meter for them to use a reversal. So in a way, yes, they are meter dependent to get people off of them. But characters like Kinmu, Wolf, Spinal, yes, Pot of Bones, other characters can use it. He can use Shadow Skeleport, do Crouching Medium Punch into like Soul Sword, and then cash out again if another Shadow Teleport. You understand? Saberwolf can do Shadow Eclipse, a button into Ragged Edge Juggle, or a button into Shadow Recapture, or a button into Shadow Eclipse again to get guaranteed damage. Or, even better, in my opinion, let me go ahead and show it off real quick. If you don't want to risk the combo, I'll show you what I would do if you just want to risk the combo. Just go ahead and flip them out. And now you reset the combo. And that, yeah, there you go. See what I'm saying? And that's a lot of characters. That's a lot of characters that have this like same thing they can do. I'm gonna get to flip outs in a minute, but that's the gist of meter. Let me show you another thing that meter can do too. I forget. I almost forgot. I'm gonna record Jago doing something specific. Let me try that again. Okay. So if you have meter and you're scared to do a reversal and you want to do something a little safer, there's a thing in this game called shadow counters. Essentially, they're like alpha counters in Street Fighter Alpha. Or if you played MK11, think Just Guard up 3. What's it called? Miss Meeseeks? Perfect block into up 3. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like a get off me attack. See what I just did there? So if I press both mediums while I'm in a block string, it has to be both medium punch and medium kick, which is in this controller's case, the Y and the B button at the same time. That allows me to shadow counter. And I can continue the combo, and they're gonna get punished for pressing too many buttons while I have bar. Do you understand? You can even do it early. You don't have to wait for the whole string. You can cancel it early. Shadow counter early so you don't get chipped out. So that's a cool thing about meter too. And everyone has this ability. Some better than others, but for the most part, they're pretty equal as far as reversals go, as far as shadow counters go. Pretty guaranteed for the most part. There are some exceptions, and that's just when you're play the game at a certain level, you kind of try to find a way to cheat the system and break the rules. And that's a whole other layer I won't get into right now. But for the most part, if you're being pressured by something that has a continuous follow-up, you want to press the shadow counter. So this is 4 hits, right? Double roundhouse, double laser sword, right? You want to press the shadow counter right after the 3rd hit hits. When the 4th one's on its way. You see what I just did? Not as it's hitting, right before it hits. You want to make sure you press the shadow counter before the final hit of that continuous string connects. Do you understand? Don't wait. Don't hesitate. Jet it out. Don't be afraid. It's worth the shot, you know? And even if it doesn't work, you already planted a seed in your opponent's head. So now they're going to have to be more wary of what they're pressing and how many times they're pressing it. Because now they're aware that you're looking for a shadow counter, which is very bad news for the one on the offensive. You understand? Another good thing for meter, one more thing I want to explain, is that each meter or each shadow move has properties. So even though TJ doesn't have a shadow move that goes to projectiles, he has one that eats projectiles. I'll show you what I mean by that. All right. Let him do it again. It eats it. It breaks it. He'll punch right through it and then hit the opponent. Also, he could do something else with the shadow moves. He can't go through it, but he can go over it. You see what I'm saying? So, that's pretty cool. I think no. So let me go ahead and go to Saberwolf real quick. That's the guy in the chat's favorite character. I'm going to show you guys some bull crap with this character. Actually, he's a perfect character because Saberwolf has a bunch of good shadow moves. Remember how I showed you reversal? He has the same thing as TJ, reversal that juggles. You could do the same thing. Cash out the combo. But he can also go through fireballs. His shadow is so good that he could go through fireballs with the opponent. With the fireball. He can go through it. And if they block, let's watch this. He can capture them on the way down. He could recapture them on the way down. And it hurts like a motherfucker too. Look how much damage he did. 23% from like a baby combo. But yeah. Shadows are great because they allow you to do cash outs. Like, for example, like say like, I don't know. Let's just say I get this hit, right? I could do like all kinds of pretty interesting stuff with the Saberwolf. Recapture. Shadow cash out. Big damage. And that's shadow meter. That's shadow meter. That's the gist of it. And let's talk about instinct now. I'm gonna go through this quick, guys. Instinct is, think Street Fighter V's V-Trigger or any other fighting games install, like an install. Every character has an instinct, and every character's instinct is unique to their specific character, and they fundamentally are created to complement the character's tools, playstyle, or can even just be a simple thing like enhancing a certain trait of the character or applying a curse to the opponent or something, right? It's just an install. So I'm going to pop this one right now. I'm going to put it on infinite just to show you. So let me show you something with Saberwolf real quick, just as an example. I'm going to do a basic combo with Saberwolf. Alright. Now here's an instinct combo with Saberwolf. just as an example, he canceled out the animation. Saberwolf's instinct allows him to cancel the recovery or even the startup frames of any of his attacks. Any of them. So he could do this move regularly, or he could fake him out and do it twice. Or he could do it so fast that it won't even hit. Like, say an opponent's waiting for this move to come out, he can cancel it, bait them to do a reversal, like I mentioned earlier, block the reversal, and then punish them for thinking that he's going to commit to that move. It's pretty strong. Another thing it also does, let me show you. How do I set this up? Block all. So let me restart it so where I'll show you what I'm talking about. The opponent is blocking, right? Nothing's happening to their health. Now if I start doing special moves, is it regenerating still? How do I turn that off? Maybe I could put it at 80. There it goes. You see how it's going down when they're blocking the special moves, but not the buttons? Now if he pops Instinct, buttons do chip now too. They do chip damage. And this also increases the chip damage of other specials. So he just gets more chip and enhanced chip. Everything chips and does more chip. It's a lot of chip. It's a lot of health being taken away. It's a lot of health being taken away. That's what his instinct does. That's his specific instinct. Jago's on the other hand, now that's perfect timing. I need to get my health back. I'm hurt. Can he heal? Yeah, he can heal past it. His fireballs now heal, and he shoots 2 of them at once instead of just 1. All his projectiles heal now. That's his instinct. And also, something specific to Jago, if you know frame data, he gets a plus, I think it's +2 on everything, right, Roman? Everything that he does has an extra 2 frames of advantage. So if a move was -4, it's now -2. If a move was 0, it's now +2. If a move was +4, it's +6, etc. And that applies to his specials and his normals and everything. That's Jago's instinct. Now, those are install instincts that enhance the character's properties. So, for example, Wolf's gets to cancel his moves and has more chip. Jago has double fireballs instead of 1, and they heal now, and he has frame advantage. Now, TJ, I'm going to be a little biased to show off my character's instinct. What I think the worst instinct in the game is, I'll show you right after this. This is one of the best instincts in the game, TJ combo. So this character is a decent character. Most people think he's mid-tier, maybe some mid-low. I think he's strong. I think he's very strong. That's why I use him. He's not like top tier, but what he lacks in his main kit and struggles with in his main kit, he makes up for it in his instinct. So for example, here's a combo for TJ. Let's just give you an example of a combo. That's a normal combo for TJ. Now here's an instinct combo. You see, he's kind of a little more free-formed. He's got more freedom to do stuff like this. Watch, let me show you some more stuff. Let me make him stop blocking for a second. No block, please. He could do things that he can normally never do because of his instinct. What his instinct does, it increases his speed by a certain percentage on his moves. Now, not every move is increased by that percentage. Just his grounded attacks. And what I mean by that is moves that are considered grounded, such as back fist, kick, power line, and his jabs and his hooks and his uppercuts and stuff like that. They all get enhanced. His tremors don't get enhanced because he's airborne. His flying knee doesn't get enhanced because he's airborne. His command grab gets enhanced. It comes out way quicker. None of his air buttons get faster. Just his grounded attacks. But there is a move that looks like it shouldn't get the buff, but it does. That's Superman Punch. Even though he technically looks airborne, it's considered a grounded move. Intentional. So it comes with the caveat is, that sounds broken. But the thing is, it's a good and a bad thing to be a grounded overhead. Because even though it is airborne, it's not airborne. What that means is, moves that come out that have a lot of startup frames, since it takes a little while for it to come out and he's not airborne, he could be thrown out of it. He could be tossed out of that move. I'm going to see if I can have the opponent. Nah, it's a little tricky to record. But trust me, like, if I do this right in their face, he could be thrown out of it. It's more that it's just so it can receive the buff. They intentionally kept it a grounded move, because if it was an airborne move, and he popped Instinct, he wouldn't have the buff. That move would be useless still. Or not useless, but not as good. It wouldn't have the buff. You see what I'm saying? So they gave it to him on purpose. And it still crushes lows. It goes under lows. Yeah, it's just grounded state. It goes under lows. It just gets thrown out of like a grounded move, you know? So it's pretty interesting, in my opinion. Yeah. But that's pretty much Instinct. So what's cool about Instinct 2 is not only is it good for the enhancement, it's also good to see what your opponent's going to do to you. So for example, let's show you what I'm talking about. Okay. That's a pretty fast move, right? It's pretty fast. Now, it's hard for an opponent to know what it's hard for me to know what my opponent's going to do sometimes, right? But with Instinct, let's just say I didn't know he's going to do that. Let's just say I didn't know he's going to do that. Knock me down, Saberwolf, please. I just popped Instinct. Now I saw, with that moment, you saw how he froze there and did his little pose? I just popped Instinct, and that gave me time to react to his offense. That's what the purpose of the Instinct is as well. A freeze frame. It gives you time to react. And it's really strong. It can be used on Wake Up, when you're getting off the ground. It can be used in the middle of a block string. Let me show you another example real quick. See, I know he's going to throw there. Oh, I see he's going to throw. That gap between the attack and the throw. Now I know he's going to throw. I froze the game. Saw his mouth try to grab my ankle, which is his throw animation. And I popped Instinct to allow me to see that. And I punished accordingly. That's the strength of Instinct. Also, if you didn't know, whenever you pop Instinct, it gives you one extra frame of advantage. So, for example, if General Rom pops Instinct, he can get pretty much a 0 frame command grab off of you. If TJ pops Instinct, his back fist goes from being like 5 frames in Instinct to 4. And that's fast. That's very fast. So it adds an extra benefit in that aspect as well. Yeah, Instinct is pretty strong, and the only way to build Instinct in this game, well, let me not lie. The main reason to build Instinct, the main way to build Instinct, is to take damage. So, for example, I'll show you right now. I'll restart real quick. See how Wolf has no Instinct? He's building it now because he's dying. He's losing health. So you lose health and you build Instinct relative to that. Another way to do it, as I'll show a recording real quick. Is to break a combo. You see how I broke the combo and a bit of it came back? I built an extra bit for free. Now I have instinct. Breaking combos does that as well. Some characters have different ways to build instinct. For example, Jago, remember how I mentioned him? He can build instinct doing a certain sequence of a combo, which I could show off later. Gargos has minions. He can grab one and literally absorb the minion and eat it, and that builds his instinct. So that's pretty cool. I can't think of any other examples right now. Oh, Kim Woo, she has an ender. If she gets a certain level of that ender, she could build instinct for free as well. Not much, but still something, you know? The worst instinct to me has to be Eagles. I'll show you why. Yeah, combo breakers build instinct. So do counter breakers. If you get a counter breaker, you get instinct from that too. Eagle. Now, I'm not gonna play Eagle. I'm ass with this character. Let's just get down to that. Yeah, Kim Woo as well. That's right, Scammerman. The best instinct in the game, in my opinion. Now, this is just my opinion. I'm not right about this or wrong about this. Is my opinion. I think the best instinct is still Idols. But it's so close to, like, the top 3 are so close to me that I don't even think it's that big of a deal if you say certain other ones. So, my opinion, the top 3 instincts in this game are Idol, TJ, Sadira. Those are the top 3. They're the biggest robbery instincts, and they allow the character to become so powerful. A comeback is imminent. It's not even a question if it'll happen, is when. I think Rash has a good one too. Spinals is strong too. But I think TJ's, Roms, and Sadira's are the best. Sadira also has the ability, while an instinct, to jump cancel things that aren't normally jump cancelable. So she could do web into web into web, and when you're in danger, she can jump cancel an attack into Akara Ultra, which is dumb and so fucked up. She could do an Ultra off of Unbreakable, essentially, which hardly any characters can do. It's pretty crazy. Where am I putting Shin's? That's a good question, Scramblin'. Because Shin Hisako's instinct, it's just like a situational. It's pretty mid. It's like a situational instinct. But here's the thing about her instinct. It's super guaranteed. It's a super guaranteed, like, checkmate situation where, like, when you pop that instinct and you know what you're doing with it, you get free. It's a free 20%. It's just free. Now, if you have someone that could deal with it, there are some layers to it, but it's not really a comeback mechanic, and you only get one thing off of it. It's nothing special, but it's very dependable. That's the thing. It's not the best instinct. It's dependable, though. You understand? So that matters, you know? That helps a lot. Eagle's instinct's kind of ass. Let me go ahead and show it real quick. But that's intentional. They made it bad because if it just, all it does is follows up attacks like buttons with a bird attack. It's pretty whatever. It's not that bad for his kit, because his kit's all about 50-50s oppressive projectile mix, and it just keeps the pressure going. But it's pretty bad in terms of like other instincts, but for the character it does what it needs to do. You know what I mean? And it still gives him the freeze frame and everything, you know, he still gets the freeze frame, the powerful freeze frame to see what's happening around him. And everything. So it's not so bad. That's instinct in this game. I want to talk about Staggers real quick. The best person to talk about Staggers is probably this character. I'll put TJ over here just in case. Drink some water. I've been talking for too long.
Eons have tempered my
All right. So, Staggers. Staggers in this game are special because a lot of games kind of took the idea from this game. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I feel like I haven't seen it since this game. So, like in Street Fighter 5, you know how crush counters kind of leave the character spinning in one place and they leave them open for mix or for a combo that normally wouldn't hit? Kind of applies the same way of Staggers. Guilty Gear starts staggered? Okay. Cool. Yeah. Okay. And then staggers are strong. So let me show you a stagger hit. And you can look at the opponent. Let me show you first. Let me show you a normal hit. Let me show you a normal reaction to a hit. Watch. See how TJ kind of like just feels like he got hit in the ribs. He's like, ow, my ribs. Goddamn. And look at his stagger. He's like completely turns around and loses his balance. He just loses his balance. And this allows you to do so many cool things. It allows you to create combo openings that normally wouldn't work. It allows you to put characters in positions that they're pretty much stuck in that animation of the stagger, so they have to guess the next mix. It could be anything too. It could be stagger into throw, because throws combo into stagger. Unlike buttons don't combo into stagger. Let me show you what I mean by that. It won't work. It just won't work. See what I'm saying? It just won't combo. But the stagger, it's a 2-hit combo, you see? Guaranteed. Not guaranteed. They could tech it, but I mean, what I mean is it will combo. It will combo. It's just something that will work. I like to think that staggers, this is my opinion. I don't know if people agree with me on this. But a stagger state is a lot like being put in a mid-range wall splat state. So in Killer Instinct, I'll show off this just real quick for the one time. He has a stagger ender. And in Killer Instinct, this character has a stagger ender, which is like unique to him. Wait, does anyone else have a stagger ender? I can't remember. TJ has a wall splat ender, which is essentially the same thing as a stagger. It lets you throw the opponent, combo the opponent to a throw, or continue the combo. See what I'm saying? Staggers are cool because they help with like a lot of hit confirms and kind of create a sense of mix in the middle of the screen that would be only applicable if the enemy was wall splatted. You see what I'm saying? The throw, the low, the overhead, the delayed button, all that. It's all built into the stagger system. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's what staggers are. And Tusk has the most staggers in the game, I think. Crouching medium, heavy, jump medium punch. I think this is a stagger as well. Yep. Back heavy punch. An ender that's a stagger. Yeah, for TJ is he has a great stagger. Let me show you what I mean. So normally in fighting games, you want to hit confirm, jab and a back fist, but with TJ, I could just stagger combo into confirms for free. And he has a command throw, so even if they block, they still have to get ready for the tick throw, but if they don't, they get hit by it, they get the free command throw. It combos. That's strong. That's very strong. Believe it or not every character has a stagger either. Jago and Sadir have come to mind of characters that don't have staggers. Maybe Orchid as well? I think she doesn't either. But most characters have a stagger. pretty strong. I like him. Yeah, so that's Staggers. You can take the throw off their stagger. You can tech it. Yeah, you can. Yeah, I know. I just didn't. I'm wondering who doesn't have a stagger. I know that majority of the cast does. I just know Jago, Sadira, and Orchid probably don't. I think they're the main ones. I think Glacius doesn't have one either. I'm trying to think. A lot of the first season don't have staggers. Does Spinal have a stagger? I don't think the first season of characters have staggers. Thunder doesn't have a stagger. Maybe only Wolf, yeah. Weird. Yeah, his was added later. It didn't come into the game till season 2. No, season 3. Sorry. Ah, Fulgur has a heavy laser. Yep. Yep, you're absolutely right. Forgot about that. All right. So, any questions about staggers? Yeah, Tusk is the one that kind of like was the character that built around the stagger system. So the devs told me. And if they said it, it must be true. Okay, let's go into flip outs. So we all know what a juggle is. So let me just go over it. A juggle is a combo that is an airborne combo that the opponent can't get off the ground from doing or cannot like escape of unless they break the combo. It's a juggle. You can do them in the corner. You can do them mid-screen. You can do them all kinds of cool juggles. See, that's a juggle. Now, here's a flip out. Now, the same combo, but I'm going to add a flip out to it. You see how the opponent kind of went back on his feet after the flip out, the light kick? See how he kind of went back on his feet? Didn't just land on his ass or his back? And what that does is it resets the opponent back to neutral midair, allowing you to get mix off of it. You could go for a low, an overhead if they're blocking low. You could do like into throw. If what I can't do, I have to do a roll into throw, but you get what I'm saying. Like right here, I could just do a roll. Oh yeah, he died. You could do all kinds of stuff off of a stagger. It's pretty good. There we go. You could do nothing if you think your opponent's scared of the flip out. You could just block, and they do a DP, and then you punish them for doing the DP off a flip out. It's pretty good. And they have airborne staggers too. Let me show you. Or airborne flip out, excuse me. Flip them out in the air, reset him. See what I'm saying? Majority of the casts have flip outs, and they're usually tied to a light button or special. So, for example, Saberwolf has a crouching meat light kick flip out. TJ has a standing light kick. Jago has a laser sword, his special move, like the laser spin. His light laser spin or laser sword is a stagger as well. Airborne staggers would be kind of weird, wouldn't they? Oh no, his overhead's not a stagger. You could add staggers and flip outs to a combo in unison. So like, you could do stagger into command grab, into flip out, into reset, into juggle, to flip out, into reset again, wall splat, and then throw to finish him off. Flip outs are very strong. The thing about flip outs though is that you cannot shadow command in them. You cannot shadow cash out in them. So let me build some white light for this guy. Now watch. If I do a shadow move, it won't hit him. It won't cash out. See what I'm saying? Now, if I do a different combo, with a light punch instead of a light kick, light punch isn't a flip out, so it will cash out. But light kick is the flip out. You have to just know which character's flip out is which. It's pretty simple. See what I'm saying? Pretty simple, self-explanatory, like a lot of fighting games have it. Street Fighter has it. I think Guilty Gear has something like that. Marvel has it. Pretty cool. I don't think MK has it though. I'm not sure. Now let's talk about recaptures. So some fighting games have this from memory. I know Mortal Kombat has some moves that have restands or recapture. A recapture is just another word for restanding the opponent. It's pretty interesting. Before they existed, you had to do a shadow cash out to guarantee a combo to get it ender. If they were juggled. So if an opponent was being juggled like this in the old days, you had to do a shadow to cash it out. You had to. It wouldn't work otherwise, right? There was no way for you to cash out a combo. So a lot of combos just ended up becoming something like this. Like, it's just hitting the guy to get a setup, you know? Or a hard knockdown or something, you know, for sweep. But now that you have flip outs and shadow cash outs, you could do more. But now that, and then they added recaptures to allow you to do even more. So I could do like a combo like, and that's the recapture. That punch, tremor. This special move, it's called tremor. Its properties are an overhead. It has a projectile that's just a shockwave. If it hits the ground, it does no damage though. And it also recaptures if it hits. It's pretty good. It's a bit easy to break, but it has so much utility that it's kind of necessary to do recapping. You see, I just recapture. I'm gonna do it, put him in the air again, and recapture him again. See what I'm saying? I can do it again. I can recapture him again. It's pretty good. A lot of characters have that too. For example, Orchid has a unique one. She could do an air throw like Chun-Li in Street Fighter. But now, in this season of the game, her air throw does a restand or a recapture. If she catches you in the air, you get thrown to the floor and she can have time to follow up on the way down. Pretty cool. Not every character has a recapture either. Jago does not have one. Sadir does not have one. A lot of the season 1 characters don't have one, but most do. Some do. Like Wolf, for example. So it's pretty interesting to know which ones have it. Cinder has a really good one. The thing about Cinder's recapture is that it's one note. It's always going to be heavy. Whereas TJ has multiple. He has the light, the medium, or the heavy. Allowing you to mix the ranges and the strengths. Big combo. Yeah, that's recaptures. Recaptures are a good way to get your opponent back on the ground to do a cash out without having a spend meter. Some of them are easy to break, but it's always good to just use it regardless. Don't be afraid of it too much being broken. Don't lose your sight. Don't lose sight of your tools and your utilities just because they could be broken. You can be broken off anything in this game, so just play it. Don't be afraid to play the game the way you want to play it. Yeah, recaptures are good for resets as well. Like for example, I'll show you an example right now of one. Let's just say for the sake of argument. Let me go ahead and swap the characters real quick. Let's just say for the sake of argument that your opponent likes to hold up and I'm TJ, right? Let's just say I'm doing a combo and my opponent is holding up during the combo. He wants to escape the combo. So I'm going to show you an example of that right now. Alright, I'm gonna do a combo. Wait, maybe I could just have him jumping, right? I don't have to have him do all that. Just jump, right? There you go. See, he held up. He escaped the command grab because he's holding up. What am I to do? What am I to do? Recapture. I know he's gonna hold up. Resets the combo. He's dunked. He's gonna stop holding up now. He's scared now. Now the opponent just saw that I reset with him. Reset him with a recapture because he's holding up. And now he's like, well, shit. That was my only way that I know how to deal with getting out of the command grab. So now that's where the fun comes in. You get to throw offense at him with the recapture or the command grab now. He's going to be either too afraid to hold up or too afraid and to block or one or the other. You just kind of have to take a guess on that. You just have to have faith, you know what I mean? It's pretty interesting. I like the idea of it a lot. The mind games that come with it, you know what I mean? Another good example of what's another good example of a recapture? I guess Orchid would be a good one too, really. Or Shadow Jago. If your opponent is, here's a cool one for Shadow Jago. Let me show you one of Shadow Jago. Recapture with Shadow Jago is pretty sweet. Just something simple that it can be done with him that not many people know about. Okay. Let's see if I can time this. I messed up. You could throw a fireball. You could throw a fireball and bait them to jump it. And if they jump it, you could still, if they jump it and get hit, you could do a recapture. If they jump it and miss it, they dodge it, you can recapture them still. If they get hit on the ground, you can still confirm it. It's a really strong, like, it's just pretty strong. It just, it works, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, Conrad's Sand Trap is fucking sick as fuck too. So you could do a full screen fireball and confirm it into the recapture. Yeah, the antlion thing that just like clamps him. That's a cool one. That's a really cool one. So that's recaptures in a nutshell. Nothing too crazy there, right, boys and girls? Now let's talk about the priority system real quick. This one's more of like a explanation. So listen close, okay? If you have any questions, ask. In Killer Instinct, there's a thing called the priority system. And what that means is that certain moves or aspects of moves out-prioritize other moves. No duh, right? Sounds like a no duh, but what do you mean, Devil May Care? So for example, let's just say for the sake of argument, I do a heavy punch and Jago does his medium punch, right? If we for some reason do the moves to where they're both gonna hit each other, like his medium punch is gonna hit my character, and my heavy punch is gonna hit him. If we do the move the exact same time that they're gonna hit, I'll win that clash. It won't even be a trade. I'll win with the heavy punch because it out prioritizes the medium punch. That also applies to medium to light. So medium punch will come out and the light punch will come out. I will punch the guy with my medium before his light punch hits me, even though we hit on the same frame. He will get hit by my medium over me getting hit by his light. If we both do lights at the same time, we both hit each other and we'll look silly. Like, like, whoa, we hit each other. If he does heavy and I do light, his heavy will win. If he does medium and I do light, his medium will win. But if I do either one, I'm winning. So lights, they're faster, but they have the least priority. They're faster, they're good for punishes, but they have low priority. This applies to special moves as well. You're probably thinking, wow, heavy sound good because they just beat everything priority on the ground. Well, no. They still lose to special moves on the same frame. So if I were to do, just as an example, as Jago, let's just throw him out there for a second. Laser sword, at the exact same frame as someone's hitting with their heavy, the laser sword will win. It's a special move. It wins. It will win clean. Will not trade. You understand? And that also applies to shadow moves. So if I do shadow laser sword, it beats all the buttons as well. Also applies to so if like say like I'm fighting the Jago mirror and my opponent does laser sword and I do shadow laser sword, excuse me, and we both hit the same frame, my shadow will beat his regular special. Shadows I'll prioritize almost everything. There are exceptions to that though. So for example, remember TJ Combo's shadow reversal, the shadow uppercut, that when he's on the ground, he hits you 5 times, spins his hand and hits you 1 more time or whatever. If Jago does his shadow reversal and I do my shadow reversal at the same time, or mine's as in TJ's will beat out Jago or Jago's, because Jago's, yes, this applies to specials as well. Jago's shadow DP puts him airborne, and TJ's stays on the ground. So moves that are shadow moves that are grounded out prioritize airborne shadows or anything airborne whatsoever. Do you understand? So like, it's best to never try to like react to Shadow Jago or TJ or Saberwolf's shadow uppercuts with your shadow uppercut, because you'll lose. You'll just flat out lose that. It won't even trade. Most shadows just trade with each other. Like if I do shadow wind kick or shadow and he does shadow like DP, we'll just trade. But since TJ's is a reversal that's on the ground and Jago's is one that goes airborne, I will win that. TJ will win that. You understand? Another interesting fact about priority. Throws. So throws are, how are they fast? Like 5 frames, 4 frames, Roman? I think they're like 5 frames in this game, right? Throws? If I'm not mistaken. Jabs are around the same frame. Most characters have the same amount of frames as a throw. Any button or any strike, we call these buttons or strikes, it's the same difference. If the throw comes out on the same frame as a button, if a button's gonna hit me on the same frame a throw's gonna grab the opponent, the throw will always win. It will always win. It just beats the throw. Or the throw beats the punch, excuse me. And that applies to every strike. There are some exceptions with certain moves. Maybe being like a special command that kind of puts him airborne. So like for example, Orchid, her forward heavy kick is a double overhead, special normal. And it's throw invincible. That's one of its properties. Regardless of it being a strike, it just beats throws. But majority of all strikes, normals, they get beaten out by throws on the same frame. Do you understand? And in this game, there are things called command grabs. Most fighting games have them, actually. I think all do. Maybe there's one out there that doesn't have it somehow. I don't know how that's possible. But some probably do. Command throws beat out normal throws. So let me see if I can do this right. I'm probably gonna mess this up because I'm pretty ass. Oh, he's just sending it. You see, he will never throw me out of. He'll never throw me. It will never work. Throws don't beat out command grabs. Command grabs beat throws. Now, here's the thing though. Not all command grabs are created equal. So I think Con Ra is one of the examples of this as well. But TJ Combo, for example, his command grab doesn't have the instant throw and vulnerability of other throws, other command throws. So let me show you an example. I think TJ and Con Ra have this problem too, scrambling. You gonna do it or not, you ass? Am I stoned? Is he not gonna do it? Okay, there we go. Let me see if I can get him to do it better. He's not doing it right. The timing is... It's a little hard to get training to work in this game. I just did it. I just did the command throw and it didn't come out. He got thrown out of it. TJ will get thrown out of his command throw, pretty much is what I'm trying to say. His command throw doesn't become throw invincible until the point of impact. And there are some funny instances. Like, for example, like Hisako's command throw is pretty fast. If I'm doing full screen power line and go for the command throw in just the right time, and she goes for her command throw, or usually her heavy one, we both just whiff each other. It looks weird. They both just miss each other. It's funny. Yeah, it doesn't matter. He will get thrown out of it. Even raw back forward medium punch, yes. It just straight up loses. He's one of the examples of that. It's fair though, because if you have his, I think his command throw is like 26 frames. Imagine having 26 frames of throw and vulnerability. That's just too much, you know. TJ's command throw is not traditional, in the sense that it is more for tick throw setups. You see what I'm saying? Than it is for actual like command throw practices. You know what I mean? Yeah, Gargos has a great command throw, but he needs it. He's the boss. Yeah, that's the priority system. Yeah. I'm gonna talk about something else now. Overheads. Simple concept, right? Can you make him block low? There you go. See, he'll block low. My opponent's blocking low. I can't open him up. Why? What am I gonna do? Overhead. Overhead works. This is an overhead as well. Certain moves have overhead properties. Jago has an overhead. Let me show you his. That's an overhead. TJ has 2 overheads. In the tremor. And the Superman punch. And look how far his overhead hits. Look how far. I could probably go further than that. I could probably go like right here. Look how far. I don't know if I could test it. Let's see how far I can go. This is even further. No, it's just out of range. Just out of range. Like right here. Right here. That's the last possible frame it'll hit. At that last bit. Look at that. That's cheap. Not even his tremor goes that far. Superman punch does though. And overheads are just another good way of dealing with opponents who are crouch blocking low, blocking mid and low the whole time. It's pretty good at dealing with that. That's just, it's that simple. Overhead. So if you ever have an opponent or someone say, "Ah, oh, that's an overhead," and that means that they got hit over their head. Yeah, it's an overhead. You can also throw people out of blocking low too, so that's another way to deal with people blocking low all the time. Now lows, let's talk about lows. Lows are just the same thing as overheads, but reverse. If they're blocking high, blocking your overheads, hit them with the low. Same difference. You can combo them. See? That simple. Just mix it up. Hit him with the low, hit him with the overhead. Do what works. See what I'm saying? In this game, if you get thrown, you can tech a throw. That's also another way to deal with throws. See? You both get pushed away from each other. I don't think anybody gets hurt either. I think it's just like a clean break. Right, Roman? Yeah, you both do build a little bar though. Yeah, you do. Let me see if I can represent that. Shadow meter off. Reset. Yep. Yep, a little bar. They're even on the screen, 0 advantage. Both built a tiny bit of meter, like 2%, 5%. Now you were saying going back to the priority system, it enables anti-air of crouching and heavy punch while avoiding clashes. Yeah, exactly. Anti-air is usually beat out like stuff like that. Especially if the hitbox is higher. Yeah. A lot of characters have a good like options after taking a throw. Like Riptor has a good headbutt. TJ has a back fist. Some characters have like pretty good shadows too. You could do like a tremor to avoid throws, throw crushing if you would. Yeah, if the opponent's kind of like in the corner, get pushed like, not too far. Pretty good. Now let me talk about knockdowns. Let me show you a hard knockdown real quick. I can't get up from this. You see how I'm like stuck on the ground? No matter what I do, I can't get up. Can't get up. Stuck. This is the set amount of time I'm gonna be laying on the ground. It's just the way it is, right? But now if the opponent does something that's not a hard knockdown, I could quick rise off the ground. Oh, sorry. Put him over here. Oh, let me do more time. See how quickly I got off the ground? I didn't just lay there like this. You see how I just lay there? I got off the ground. I tapped the button. As soon as I hit the ground, I tapped the button. All you gotta do is hit a button when you hit the ground. That's it. It helps you avoid getting put in a situation where the opponent controls how fast you get up off the ground and what their offense and mix-ups can be. You can also just like you could tap button. Yeah, you could press anything. You could press a direction on the D-pad. You could press a button on the face buttons. You could do whatever you need to. It's always a good practice to know what's a hard knockdown and know what a quick rise is, when to quick rise. But the thing is, you don't have to quick rise if you think your opponent's going for something meaty on a quick rise situation. Show command grabs. Remember how I was mentioning lows, guys? Remember how I was mentioning that? Well, a lot of moves beat lows. Let me show you some examples. Okay. You could jump over a low. You could do a tremor. You could do flying knee to go over the low. You see? crushing it. You're crushing the low. See, I crushed the low right there. See? Wait, what? What do you want me to do? Anyway, yeah, you can crush lows. Certain moves have priority over the like special properties, and you can do that with overheads, or you could do that with like highs as well. A good character, for example, for that would be Wolf. Flying knee crushes mids. Flying knee goes over mids and lows. Shadow flying knee as well. Not the Superman punch, no. Wolf is cool because a lot of his buttons put him in a low profile. So opponents who have a move like this, for example, will usually get stuffed out by... He just low profile that you saw. So how he went under it? He high crushed. The Wolf has a low profile stance with his attacks. Pretty good. Yeah, flying knee crushing mids is like one of the best feelings. The cool thing about flying knee too is that it also crushes a lot of overheads, since a lot of the overheads in this game, their active hitbox is mid to low, because they're going from like one arch to the next, you know. Let me read what this guy asked in the Discord. Okay, so there is quick rise, but is there delay wake up? No. There's either regular wake up or quick rise. No delay wake up. That would be hype though if they did have a delay wake up. Be kind of cool, but it doesn't have it. Unfortunately. Those are called low crushes and high crushes. Simple. Nothing too much to explain about that. Pretty simple. What else am I looking to do? Show off. Let me think. Oh, here's a list right here. Confirms. That's a good one. Let's talk about confirms, chat. So what's a confirm? A confirm is hitting a button. Let me put auto block or random. Wolf shadow leaping slash can jump over Arya's overhead. Yeah, I know that. TJ's shadow knee could do it too. Yeah. That's a confirm. You saw how I didn't... You saw how, like, if you really focus, you could kind of, like, get the confirm. It's a little hard. So what you can do is, like, something like this. A longer confirm. You don't have to confirm off a single jab. That's almost inhuman, right? So just do this. Just do, like, a little magic series. It gives you more time to confirm. A lot of characters kind of have auto confirms. So what a confirm is basically getting a straight hit into a full combo, or at least an opener. A lot of characters have auto confirms, and what an auto confirm is essentially, like for TJ, I think he's like stuck in the, yeah, that's an auto confirm. Now I know my target combo hit. It's an auto confirm. I don't have to think too hard about it. See, now I'm confirming it. Just the best thing to do, in my opinion, is like, let's just pretend, for example, that TJ doesn't have an auto-confirm target combo juke setup. Just do back fist. It's 0 on block. Find a move that's safe. A safe move. It's 0 on block. It brings you in. You know? And you can confirm it if you get the hit. See? Gives you time. Good examples of moves that could do this. Laser sword, like medium laser sword after Jago's buttons. Light wing kick. Wolf's light ragged edge. Little double claw attack. He could do light that one. Especially at max range where the first hit will not hit. Shit like that. Light flick flack. Something that's safe, you know. You don't want to do something dangerous, you know. Not Rom. Idol's like light club, pretty good. Stuff like that. Now, who do you main, Kodal? That could help me help you better if I know who you play, or if you're thinking about playing someone. Mostly Rom and Omen. I think Rom his light stab is probably a good idea, but I think you want to rely more on buttons that are a little bit chunkier, like heavy punch. Heavy punch can combo into another button if it's a counter hit, and also has a big cancel window. So let me give you an example. I'll show it to you. I'll show it to you right now. I'll just show the world. So it's a big timing to do that. I had a lot of time to do that. I had a lot of time to hit confirm that heavy punch. Okay. Those are confirms. That's a confirm. My friend Tweety, he'll sit in the lab on stream and practice like the same way I just did that. He'll practice a confirm for a character almost like for an hour or two. Just constantly practicing to confirm and getting that muscle memory and reaction memory down. It's insane. I've never seen anything like it. Like, and I mean, he doesn't falter. He just does it for an hour or two straight up, constantly doing it. No rest. You know what I'm saying? Insane. I've watched him do it so many times, especially in MK11 with Garrus, and it saved him and helped him win so many matches in tournaments. That little simple trick that doctors hate, he does it. So now we're at the conversions. We're at conversions now. So a conversion. How do I explain this without having to show it? It's hard to show it in this training mode. Let's just pretend that this Fulgor is gonna jump kick me, right? Let's just pretend. Right? He's jump kicking. He wants to get out of the corner. Let me put him over here in the corner. He wants to get out of the corner and he was gonna jump, right? I just converted that. I just got a stray hit and made it into a combo. You see what I'm saying? Oh, I could do even something better. Sometimes, like, this happens to me a lot. Actually, I'll be in the corner and I'll mistime a meaty or just be too hesitant and they'll jump. And I'll get a button like that. And I'll react with juke. And I'll just try to get a conversion off of it. I'll try to convert this combo, that stray random hit that didn't expect, into a full combo. You see what I'm saying? It's really fun. I do that a lot actually. Whenever our opponent's jumping towards me, let's just show you an example. I could probably record it. Oh, you could do, right? You could confirm it to. You could do conversions into like other things like anti-airs. I just had anti-air. Now I want to make this a full combo. Here's a conversion. Boom, converted. You see what I'm saying? Straight hits that don't normally lead into stuff can be good conversions. Just being aware of your character's tools, you know. You don't convert much. You just kind of confirm much. You just kind of. Well, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that to an extent. Just watch out for your opponent's meter. Kind of bait it out. Baiting out shadow counters is a very important part of the game that not many people talk about. Conversions are basically confirms off of stray hits that don't normally seem like they should be a combo, but they can if you have fast enough reactions and know the right buttons to throw out. Alright, I'm gonna talk about the combo system real quick, just fast. It's like a storybook, right? Combos are like stories. What kind of story are you trying to tell, right? Do you want the story to be quick? Do you want it to last a little while? Do you want it to be confusing or mysterious? Sometimes I like my stories to be pretty straightforward, hard hitting. So I usually go for, you know, a hit that's heavy. I don't care if they break my combo. I want the combo to be chunky. A good fucking Dear Diary entry. You know what I'm saying? If I want the story to be short, I'll just do one of these numbers. Convert it into another combo. That was 2 stories in one. What I did there was 2 stories in one. Let me make that make sense. I jumped in, did an ender, recaptured, did another ender. It was 2 stories. I told a double feature. You know what I'm saying? So what this game has is called openers. And what openers are, they're moves that lead you and your opponent into the combo state. The combo state in KI is unique. It's a mini game, if you will, that you and your opponent are playing, and you have to both play it. Whether you're in the combo or doing the combo, you both are playing the combo state game. What do I mean by that? So, an opener in this game is a special move, a jump in, or 2 moves. A target combo in KI is considered a single move. Even though this attack hits twice with 2 different buttons, it's 1 move. You understand what I'm saying? So he could do 2 moves before it's considered an opener. And what that means is, after the opponent got hit with either the jump in, the special, or 2 moves, the opener, they are now allowed to try and break the follow-up. You understand? So, if I were to go flying knee into heavy auto, the opponent can break the heavy auto double. They could break this attack. They could also break this heavy knee, linker, medium auto double to light linker. So your opponent now has to guess or react to the strength of the attack that you did to them after the opener. So remember how in the beginning of this video, I was talking about normals and having how they're like Street Fighter, where you have a light, medium, and heavy? That's not just for the sake of the buttons being different strengths and speed. That also applies to the breaker game, the combo state. In Killer Instinct, if your opponent gets hit by an opener, they either have to break lights with both light punch and light kick at the same time being pressed sequentially, mediums with both medium punch and medium kick being pressed sequentially, simultaneously rather, and heavies, which is like in neutral is instinct pop, but in practice, like in combo, it's breaking heavy combos. You understand? At first, you kind of want to like find out what strengths are just by learning the animations and moves. And a key way to do that is to see visuals. Like, for example, this is heavy. Look how chunky it is. Slow uppercuts. Heavy. So they want to break with heavies. Right? Now, mediums. A bit slower. I mean, a bit faster. Low-hitting gut moves. Those are mediums. Lights. Faster, weaker jabs. Get it? Lights are harder to break. They're faster. But for the cost of being difficult to break and being faster, they're weaker in damage and build less potential damage. Mediums are that sweet spot in between the speed and the strength. Not too hard to break, slightly reactable, but sometimes not worth trying to break. It's just like, okay, let them have the mediums. Heavies are the easiest to break in the game, but they do the most damage. They do the most potential damage. They're slower, making them easier to break. But with that, it kind of builds this like mind game, right? Since heavies are so easy to break and they do so much damage, your opponent almost always wants to go for a heavy break on reaction. They're hardly ever going to react to mediums or lights, especially lights. So they usually will eat a combo for a set period of time and react to the heavy without even meaning to, because they're just sick of being in that combo game. So they'll usually just kind of like reactionary angry break heavies, like out of frustration. And you're probably wondering like, well, why should I do heavies then? That's kind of dangerous. Well, there are a couple reasons. Sometimes your opponent never sees it coming and they guess wrong. They go for mediums instead of heavies, and now the opponent's locked out. I don't know if I can show that. I'll do it as full gore. How about that? Okay. Let me do a full combo. Okay, that's a combo, right? I broke the heavy. Okay. I didn't want him to do that no more. I'm sick of it. Don't do that. I broke the heavy. Stop it. But now, I'm gonna guess wrong. I'm panicking. Oh, he did heavies. Now that whole time that I'm locked out, he can do anything he wants. He could extend the combo until the meter of that lockout symbol dissipates into the center. He could do a full combo as long as he wants. You see what I'm saying? So you don't want to be wrong about breaking, especially when heavies are involved. Also, if your opponent is getting, like, say I'm getting broken a lot by the opponent, like, let's just say for the sake of argument, the opponent likes to guess the combo breaker the moment he gets hit. Frame 1, guess breaking. Whether he's right or not, let's just say he is right for the most part, and you just keep getting openings, and he keeps getting lucky and breaking the first opening chance of a combo. It's frustrating. I get it, right? But if you have a suspicion he's gonna keep doing that, you can go for a counter breaker. Let me see if I can get it to happen. You see? What that does, if when you're the combo E, the guy who's doing the combo, and you have a feeling your opponent's gonna guess break or react break to one of your moves, when you press both medium punch and medium kick at the same time, whilst you're in the middle of a combo that you're doing, and you'll go into an animation where you flash your arms up or whatever your animation is, and it'll make a sound like a huang sound, and your opponent guess breaks. Now they're in trouble. Now they have to eat damage and eat shit for like 3 seconds for free because they're guess breaking too much, and you guessed that they were gonna break there and you counter broke them. So let me go back to what I was saying about heavies. Since heavies are the easiest to break, the most reactable to break, and usually are broken out of frustration, those are good times to throw out a counter break. The Chronicle, one of the best players, one of the things he does that he's known for, and it still works to this day, is barely using any heavy autos or linkers in a combo and throwing them out when you're frustrated and you see it and you want to break it because you're frustrated, and then he counter breaks you off the heavy auto double. And it works 9 out of 10 times. It's very annoying. It's super, super effective. What's up, Cupcake? Sorry I'm not reading you guys. I'm trying to be educational here, and Tweety keeps flirting with me. I'll read your stuff in a minute, Tweety, you little sexy fuck. Anyway. So the whole mind game, the thing about Killer Instinct that makes it fun and great is that throughout the entire match, why I love it so much, why I love Killer Instinct so much, and no other game compares to it, is because throughout the entire match, you're always playing the game. Unlike Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Street Fighter, or even Mortal Kombat 1, the moment you get hit in one of those games, you pretty much gotta sit there and watch that entire combo unless you have like a required resource to break or something, right? Or if the opponent drops a combo. You and KI and your opponent are in a never-ending struggle of supremacy. Not just in offense, but in defense, and in being in and out of a combo. There's constant gaming going on. You're always gaming. It's funny because the entire time I'm playing other fighting games, this is no slight to other fighting games, by the way. I love Guilty Gear. I love Street Fighter 6. I'm gonna learn Tekken one day. But the constant being in a mental battle with your opponent, it's like some like Shaolin monk, like Jedi mind battle. Let me drink some water. So like, there'll be times where Roman and I, or Sonic Dolphin and I, or whoever is fighting at the high level, me and Cupcake, Cupcake is probably one of the best examples of this. Cupcake and I will be fighting, and we'll laugh at moments. Tell him, Cupcake. Him and I will be in a Jedi mind trick battle and laugh at something that the audience or the chat room didn't even know was happening, but him and I were aware of it. We were in each other's heads. And there'll be a moment of like, and he'll start saying like, I thought you were gonna, and I'm like, I know. Because the entire time we're fighting each other, it's not just what's happening on the screen. It's in our brains. We're like sending each other mind signals. And to me, it's a drug. It's a fucking actual needle in the arm. Like I'm getting drugs. Like addicted to this shit. Like the feeling of constantly playing Killer Instinct and always being in the moment is some of the best fighting game experience I've ever had, and I cannot explain it. I'm underselling that feeling. Maybe you're kind of getting how I'm feeling, and you're feeling the passion about it. But I guarantee you, I could explain it better if I had the words to explain it. I just do not have the words. You understand? It's like crack. There's nothing better than fighting a good player who puts you in under a lot of stress. And I don't mean stress or as in frustration, like being opened up and not being able to play the game. I mean stress in constant mind games. Warfare, mental warfare. Tweety is a fucking crazy person, bro. But yeah, like, that's my favorite shit in Killer Instinct. I kind of lost my order of educating. Sorry about that, chat. I still have a couple things to talk about before we go into the questions or demonstrations. If you have any questions, chat, feel free to ask at any time, by the way. All right. So we're going to talk about enders real quick. I'm going to show you TJ is like one of the best examples of a character of multiple enders, right? So let me go ahead and just turn off some of these things. So TJ has an ender. A lot of fighting games have enders. MK1, I think, has enders. If I'm not mistaken, Tweety, right? So like, what I mean by that is, sometimes he'll choose to do a move that leaves the opponent in front of him, pushes him to the corner, lets him set up an assist trap or something, or builds him a little more bar. Right? It's similar. It's very similar. MK1 has enders. Just as an example. An ender in a combo is a move that you do to get one of those results. Either meter, positioning, frame advantage, or pressure. Right? Or damage even. Sometimes it's just damage. Sometimes it leaves the opponent in a bad spot, but it does the most damage. That's an ender. KI has that. In fact, KI not only has those things, its whole combo system is literally structured off of it. So remember how I was talking about how combos are like a storybook? Watch the opponent's health for me for a second. I'm going to show you some examples of this. Just watch their health, okay? You see the health is going down? Okay, cool. I did 21% off of that combo, right? 21%. And you probably noticed that there was a little bit of flashing white, like life. It was flashing white. Let me show you that same combo. Now I'm going to end it this time. I ended the combo with a damage ender. Now look, I got 39%. The white life is gone. Guaranteed damage. The same combo, except I didn't blow it out. I decided to end the combo and cash out on that white health. In this game, Killer Instinct, most of your moves, well, I'm going to say all your moves after a certain point, after the first hit, build white life. Some more than others, depending on the strength of the move. And depending on the shadow as well. And it's your job as the player to decide that you want to go for a combo that lasts long to get most damage, but you also want to cash out on the ender. You want to use an ender. Now, I'm going to go ahead and restart the thing and put back the regenerating health so I can show you better. So we saw, I'm gonna do multiple different enders. I'm gonna show you the damage ender one more time. I'm gonna do the combo flying knee, heavy auto, heavy linker, heavy auto ender. Okay, flying knee, heavy auto, heavy linker, heavy auto, ender. 35. It hit them. It hit them. They got 35% damage. They're hurt. All right. Now let's do it again. Let's do a different ender this time. Oopsie. Sorry. Sorry, chat. Let me reset that. I'm going to do the same combo, but a different ender. I did the juggle ender. I got slightly less damage, but I put them in the air. So that's good. What does that mean? This is a juggle ender. You have a good one. Thank you for stopping by in the Discord. So I just extended the combo. I did a juggle ender, extended the combo, and did another ender afterwards. Got the same damage for a little more work, but I guaranteed the 33%, and added it to 36% into a wall splat, which gave me, if you know what a wall splat is in a fighting game, it gives you advantage. You're at a huge advantage frame-wise, and you can do multiple options afterwards. So, what's better? Doing this? Getting this like 35? Or doing this? I just got 2 enders into 47%. You're probably thinking the second option was better. The answer is, it depends. Sometimes, but remember, you have to remember one thing. You can get broken out of all that extra stuff. You can get broken out of all that extra stuff. All of that extra stuff I did after the juggle ender is super easy to break. It's not guaranteed. And sure, it leads to a better, more damage and a better setup, better frame advantage, wall splat. But it's not guaranteed, and you will sometimes get broken, and it leaves you at a disadvantage if that happens. So, that's where you decide, do I want to weigh in? What are my options? What's the weight of this? Do I want to get that guaranteed damage? Or do I want to go for a long, easier to break combo that overextends slightly just to get a good setup? There's no right or wrong answer, usually. They're both pretty equally good. Just depends on what you want in the match and what you're comfortable doing and what you think the opponent will fall for and how far you're willing to push that boundary. Now, let's just go ahead and build a bar real quick. All right, I'm going to waste it real quick. Just wasting it. Okay. TJ is a character, for example, that requires meter to be sort of viable in a lot of situations, mainly when he's on defense. He already does enough damage without it, but with it meter, he's a problem. But I like to use meter for defense also. So he has a thing called a battery ender. Remember how I was explaining in most fighting games, there are moves at the end of a combo that help build the meter a little more, but leaves his opponent in less desirable location. It does less damage. Same thing with KI, but amplified to the max. So, same combo as before. I just built a good chunk of meter. Not bad, right? Pretty good chunk. Let me show you. Let me show you a level 1 version of that combo. See the little green squares underneath the combo meter? That determines the level up to 4. So. Oh yeah, you probably can't really get a level 1 ender with TJ. He just builds pips so heavily. Yeah, TJ unfortunately builds levels quickly, so I'll just show you level 2. He built a pretty good bar. Let me show you from scratch how it looks, the amount of meter. That's pretty good meter. Let me show you the difference for level 3. Oopsie. Oh, I got to level 4. Well, yeah, you get the idea. The higher the level, the more meter he builds. That also applies to the damage ender. TJ just builds level 2 like pretty much instantly. I never once had a level 1. Or if I ever do, it's very rare with TJ. He just builds levels combo. That's one of his specialties. There you go. That's an example of one. Really weak combo. But I don't ever do that weak stuff. I like to go for the big damage. It's pretty easy to get to level 2, at least. Yeah, that's a battery ender. And like remember how I did the juggle ender? Same difference. Each level does more damage and launches the opponent higher or further to the wall, depending on the ender. If I want to do a wall splat ender, let me show you. Something against the wall longer. See? And then let me show you a better example. Maybe I could put him over here. Maybe I could put him over here on this side. Okay, let's see if I could do this. See how far he gets pushed? That's level 2, right? So let's go back over here. he gets sent across the map. You see, he hit the wall, the other side. Level 4 puts him further. See what I'm saying? And that also applies to damage and everything else. Juggle, meter, whatever you got. The higher that level, the better the ender. But at risk of being broken. Because the higher you go, the more you go for a combo that has a higher level, the easier it is to break it. You understand? Pretty cool stuff. And you always want to end the combo. You never want to leave a combo burnt out or flip that like that. You don't ever want to have an opponent blow out of a combo. There are exceptions, obviously, if you want to go for resets. Like, for example, I reset them just now. Did a ton of life to them. But you really, genuinely, if you get a good opener and your opponent's going to die, end the combo, please. Or just don't get too greedy. You know what I'm saying? Shadow cash out ender works just well. See what I'm saying? Just do the ender, please. Quit playing around. End the combo. Even if it's the same ender. If you're new, just do the same ender. Just do heavy ender. Whatever ender is more comfortable with, just do it. Just do the combo, please. What else is there to talk about with enders, Roman, or anyone in chat? I'm trying to think. Some characters could do multiple enders like this, for example. Yeah, that's pretty much it. TJ has a unique ender that no other character has, by the way. It leaves him +5. So that's pretty cool, right? +5. Nice, right? Now check it out when he meter, if he has meter. He can actually combo into it. Pretty cool, right? And then he also has another thing to do. He can do with his level, his advantage ender that I just showed off. Let me show you. Sorry. He can combo off of it in instinct. Pretty sweet. Yeah. That's enders. That's pretty much it. I guess I'll talk about combo traits now. Quick couple of examples of combo traits. What's a couple good combo trait examples? Here, I'll show off this one. Saberwolf has a combo trait that's pretty good for beginners. And Jago has a good one that's pretty good for all-arounders. I'll just show off these two for now. If you can think of any ones you want to check out, let me know, chat. Saberwolf's is pretty good. It's beginner friendly. Just let you mash the same button over and over. It's called rabbit doubles. Mash the same button. You can do that with any button. See what I'm saying? They're called rabbit doubles. You could do multiple of the same button over and over and over and over. Now, Jago's combo trait is different. I probably should take off that instinct thing. Okay. So, watch Jago's instinct bar, the yellow bar underneath his health, or the lack thereof it. But if I do a combo, an opener into heavy, into medium, into light, auto doubles, like in that sequential order, or medium, light, heavy, or light, heavy, medium, basically going from heavier to lower until it resets or loops around, like laps around, he'll build instinct for free. See? He builds instinct for free. Normally you take damage to build instinct, remember? Remember how I told you if you break a combo or take damage, you could build instinct? Jago could do it without it. pretty fucked up. And what's cool is that in this game, I'll just show you. So in this game, what's cool about it is that between rounds, you're still allowed to beat the fucking shit out of your opponent. You're still allowed to beat their ass until they fall to the ground, until you drop the combo or end the combo. What does that mean? Well, I've been asked before, why do you keep hitting your opponent when they're already dead between rounds? Well, I can do a combo in this game to them the whole time. A free combo while they're dead. And what that does is it allows me to build resources. Multiple reasons. I'm going to talk about the main ones. It allows my character to build meter. For character-specific traits like Jago, it allows him to build instinct. For other characters like Mira, it allows her to heal her health. For TJ, it allows him to build meter with his meter ender. And my favorite reason to do it is to show somebody that they suck. And that you're their dad. And that they are getting their ass kicked. It's also a mental game. Don't forget how important mental warfare is in fighting games, chat. Later, Roman. So, remember, fighting games are not just what's on the screen, it's also the mind games. And sometimes people don't like getting hit. You know? It's pretty simple. It's pretty self-explanatory. I can't really think of any other reason besides those reasons to do that. Oh, well, that's not entirely. You could also do for positioning. It's mainly for resources, positioning, and meter, and all that stuff. So yeah, it's pretty interesting, right? I think the last thing I need to talk about in this game is ultra combos. And ending a combo, or rather ending a person's life bar at the right time. What do I mean by that? You gotta sometimes make sure. One second, let me just text my family real quick. You gotta make sure that when your opponent is in danger, you immediately go into ultra. It saves you so much trouble, and it gets you a guaranteed instant win. So what does that mean? Look at their... See how it says danger? That means when they're in that state, I think it's 15%, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe around 15%. Yeah, literally 15%, I think. If your opponent's at literally 15%, you got to put them in an ultra. It's guaranteed win. You don't have to worry about risking your life. You don't have to worry about anything. Just get that 15% and do the ultra, and it ends the match immediately in your favor. You win the match. See what I'm saying? I always do it. And if you don't want to like do the whole combo, the whole ultra combo, you can just do like end the combo. You can just end the ultra early by hitting mediums. And you don't have to do the whole one in case you don't want to be disrespectful. Yeah. Any questions? Because that's pretty much it. I think I'm done talking about this game. I forgot to mention one thing. I'm going to mention it right now. One thing. Instinct. I forgot to mention this on instinct. Okay. Good thing about Instinct 2 is it makes moves that are unsafe safe. Or rather plus, even. So for example, this move is -4, I think. It's pretty punishable for certain characters, like with reversals. If I pop Instinct, you could just like make it plus and make it your turn again. You see what I'm saying? So Instinct pop also helps with that. Even get your not only just make it your turn, you can make it like a winnable situation. You can actually win a match off of popping Instinct off of something like that. See what I'm saying? And that's pretty much it, chat. Double Recapture Ultra 2? Yeah, of course. Why not? You can do whatever you want with this character. Instinct, I mean. Let's just pretend I did a full Ultra. Let's just pretend I did a full one. Actually, I can just put the life bar to that. Full Ultra. Now pop Instinct and do another Ultra. You can do 2 Ultras in a row, or even 3 if you have certain characters. Pretty fucked up. Alright guys, that's a 3-hour video, or 2 hour. I stream for 3, but any questions before I cut the stream and take a break? If not, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope I had some insight. I will have this VOD up tonight. It's gonna be pretty good. Why did I start playing Killer Instinct? It's the only reason I bought an Xbox when it came out. When I got the Xbox One, I just couldn't believe Killer Instinct came back. Now, I'll be honest with you, I'm not really the biggest fan of the old games. I like them, but I never really played them like that. I really played more like Soul Calibur, like 3D fightings like that. Dead or Alive, Soul Calibur. But there's something just about the impact of Killer Instinct that was so appealing to me. I couldn't help but try it, and I fell in love with it from the beginning. Just the trailers and all the hype, you know? I'm fortunate enough to have friends that are some of the best players in the world who helped me become one of the best. I'm not saying that I am the best, but I'm grateful that I was able to meet these people and not just become a great player, but make lifetime friends because of this game. This game changed my life. I've been playing it since 2015. 2014, really. But I've been competing since 2015. 10 years. That's a life. That's a long life. I kind of casually played it in the first 2 years. But after that, I kind of felt like this game was meant for me, and it made me meet some of the best people in my life I could ever be grateful to have. You're welcome. Alright, chat. Thanks for watching the video. I appreciate it. If you have any questions in the comments, feel free to ask them on the YouTube side. I will try my best to answer them. I read all the comments. Sorry if I missed something, or if I didn't explain something clearly enough. I apologize. I've never done anything quite like this. I've done explanations before, but this is like a full in-game breakdown. And I hope that you guys learned something from this. Remember, if you want to learn Killer Instinct, it's never too late. The community is very welcoming and open to teaching new players and wanting people to be part of the community. So please don't feel afraid to reach out, ask questions, join the Discords. The main Discord's available somewhere. You can join my Discord in the comments. !Discord will show you the link to it in my stream. I'll probably have the link in the description of the YouTube video. And I'm always willing to help anyone. I just got back from Combo Breaker, and I'm already eager to help people learn the game. That's why I made this video and did this whole thing. So, my last day off before work, and I wanted to use it teaching KI. So hey, I'm not too mad about that. I love Killer Instinct. Y'all have a good one, and thanks for watching. And remember, leave a comment, leave a like if you liked the video. I'm gonna head out, chat. I'm tired. I need to take a break. I'm gonna take a break and come back to stream later. Maybe some Last of Us 2 or something not KI related. I'll see you guys. No problem. Have a good one. Thanks for watching. Peace.